Okay, so at this next stage, we're talking about developing our design ideas. We're using models to do this. So we've previously done initial ideas, and then we've developed our ideas by thinking about different aspects of it, like size and a whole range of other aspects. So we're now at the point where we need to start bringing the sketches to life, so modeling them. Now, the modeling stage covers quite a lot of the development section. So a range of different strategies. Well, modeling is a good strategy. Using the iterative design process. So if you can make a few models where you make the first one and then talk about how you can improve it and then make a second model and a third model and if necessary a fourth, then that's the iterative process where you make it, improve it, make it, improve it, make it, improve it to hopefully get to the stage where it doesn't need any more improvement and it's as good as you can get it. Now, clear, effective, and detailed use of testing to evaluate design ideas, to evolve design ideas. Now, to do that, you can test it in a whole range of different ways just by testing the models at this stage, actually just seeing how strong they are and if it needs any more structure, you know, and that type of thing, but also testing it by speaking to your clients and seeing their opinions, developing proposals including comprehensive and relevant details of materials, dimensions, finishes, production techniques which clearly address all the requirements of the design brief and specification. Well, at this stage here with the modeling, you're testing different materials. You can model it in loads of different materials that will represent the final thing. Dimensions, like does it look right, the size of it, and the feel of it, whether it's kind of the right dimensions throughout. The finish, there's nothing stopping you from painting or finishing your models to make it, you know, as detailed as you can do it, to see what the final thing will look like with the finishes you apply. Production techniques will give you an idea about how maybe to make it. So quite a lot of these, and obviously make sure you link it back to your design brief and specification at all times. Demonstrating sophisticated use of skills, techniques to clearly communicate design ideas and proposals to a third party. Well, if you model it, you've got a 3D representation of it, so therefore that will help communicate your idea to a third party. So it covers a lot of this. So modeling is really important at this stage, and obviously these are just for the lower grades. So considering some design strategies, develop a proposal, etc. Okay, and this is how I've suggested doing it. So first off, as it said on there, you know, you got to test, keep testing throughout, and feedback from a client is important at all times. So if you can show them your development of your design ideas and get some ideas as to what they think is working well and what isn't working well for what they would want, then you can ask them some questions, and there's just some things you could talk about, like the looks of it, you know, whether it links well enough to their interests, etc. So just a few questions that you could ask the client about your developed design ideas that might help with you before you start modeling. And then I put down here making 2 or 3 models based on the feedback that has been given. The models could be made out of any material, however they tend to be made out of cheap materials like card, foam or wire at this stage, because you're just testing the looks and kind of basic functionality. Obviously you need to photograph your work and get them into your coursework, and then you need to explain your thinking underneath and kind of good bits, bad bits, a bit of evaluation there as to how you think it's gone. So you can see on my example I did 3 models, and I just at the top here, the client feedback, I just asked, what development ideas did you like from the previous page? And the feedback I got was I liked the original design, but I did like the section that was erased that comes through the side of the wood to make the chair look neater. So it's about getting rid of those like a little bit detailed section here that this support comes through it, but I've got rid of that. Are there any other sections that you would like to me to model so it can be tested? I like the replacement to the open back. I also like the size change to a taller back for extra support, for the front legs to be made stronger. So you can see it's kind of giving me some ideas of things to model. So I modeled the kind of original idea a little bit to start with, because I said I liked the original idea, except they didn't like the bit that comes through, so I got rid of that. And the way I've done it is I made a paper template first. So I drew it on paper first, I cut it out with a pair of scissors, or card, just like a regular, slightly thicker card. Cut it out with a pair of scissors. I then drew around it, and I used corrugated cardboard then. So I drew it around on the corrugated cardboard, and I only did one of those because it was the same for both sides. Then I just flipped it over, so I didn't waste any materials. Tessellating, it's called, where you rotate it around and then you do it upside down. And then I managed to fit all the sections I needed onto one small piece of cardboard to minimize waste. And then you can see I've made a model of the original design to see what it looks like from all the different angles. Have added a support for the front of the chair to strengthen the leg, so I've added a little support just here. The model appears to be strong and will last a long time. However, the front support might get in the way when sat down, so I feel like that bit might be in the way when you're trying to sit down comfortably. So on this stage, I've tested out, because I said they quite liked the taller back, so I've decided to make one with a taller back to see how it worked. I've also added the armrests just to see, what it looked like with the armrests in, and I changed the back so it's more of an open back. It's easier to carry and doesn't waste as much material. And then on this one, I decided I wanted to try changing the actual shape of it a bit. Just try and make it look a little bit more modern and interesting. So tried a different shape, and I've also added like a foam to try and make it look more comfortable. Hopefully that they'll be able to sit down for a longer period of time. So explained all this in the work here, and hopefully I can then show these to my clients again and see what they think. They might prefer me to go back to the original shape. I don't know. Okay, well, thank you very much. Bye.